Welcome to another episode of Mr. Therapist and the Counselor podcast, where we discuss mental health and addiction recovery topics. And our goal and our mission is to demystify the process of therapy. My name is Manny Romero. Jesse O.
We're both wearing shorts. You can't be doing that. It just gets really awkward really quick in this closed space.
Yeah.
Your hands are really cold.
Yeah,
too.
if you're watching on you're not watching on YouTube, you're just listening. I just had to give my buddy a little shakedown, you know?
Why are your hands so cold and clammy?
I don't know.
Your hands of a serial killer.
What does it mean? Well, it's clammy. It's like cold.
Like kind of wet.
Sweaty.
Yeah.
Sweaty. I just washed my hands.
Your hands are moist.
Jesse O.
Yo, what's going on? This week, we're going to process on time sessions the world that we live in. We're going to talk about some things that are going on in politics, society, pop culture. We're going to cover a lot of things this week. So here we go.
Here we go.
Back in the saddle.
Dude, we're in it.
We're in it to win it.
You look older.
Fuck, bro. Is that where we're going to start off, dude? You look younger?
Do I? Thank you, man.
Sure, why
I've been
not?
working on it.
I'm slowly dying over here. Slow down.
I'm surprised, man. I mean,
Are you surprised how old I
I'm
look?
surprised you're here. I'm surprised.
Oh, thanks, man.
You know, you got a lot going on, bro.
I want to say this before we start. I've been wanting to reference this for quite a while. I wrote it on the board.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, what is this reference on the board? Did you see the Daniel Johnston thing, or what the hell's that about?
Who the hell is that?
So, since we've been doing this podcast, I've been rocking this one hat specifically a lot. It says, "Hi, how are you?" Right?
Aliens.
So the artist his name's Daniel Johnston. He passed away a few years back.
Yeah.
But he was very popular. I don't want to say he was very popular. I'd say he's more kind of indie. I'm really doing.
He's one of the geek kids in school. He's not that popular.
I don't know. I think. So, anyways,
is he popular or not?
He rose to fame, I think, in the 90s. He was diagnosed as schizophrenic. He was such a great artist. He also performed and wrote music. I know his art was very popular.
Right.
I remember the first time I saw some of his artwork was this actually specific hat. It's got this alien. It says, "Hi, how are you?" I remember Kurt Cobain from Nirvana wearing that shirt. There's a documentary on his struggles with schizophrenia. But I wanted to reference that because this hat specifically, Vans shoes did something with Daniel Johnston and the Hi, How Are You project, which are they're based out of Austin, Texas. Yeah. But they're a program that is supportive of mental health, and I always thought this hat was like kind of a cool reference to what we do. Yeah. People struggle with it. I wanted to just bring up the Hi, How Are You project quickly here. But the project, it's based out of Austin, Texas. Yeah. It's about managing your mental health, how important it is. It says 64% of college dropouts leave due to mental health related reasons. 1 in 4 young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 experience diagnosed mental health issues. So they're just doing their part to raise awareness. And I thought it was really cool because, as I mentioned, Daniel Johnston, he really struggled with it. Creatively, you could see it in his artwork. He had this thing with, I don't want to go too much into detail about this, but with the devil and he struggled with the things of good and evil. But he was just a very sick person who, with the right medication and therapy, he was able to heal. But through his music and his artwork, he was able to share his true self. So, I think my hat's a little worn down. So I thought about tossing it out, but it's a little busted. So it might be on its last legs, but I just wanted to shout that out because I always thought it was. I always wanted to reference Daniel
What is
Johnston.
that? Is it like a frog alien kind of?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what it is, you know. So
like
he's very creative. If you get a chance, I know you probably won't look this up, but maybe to our viewers, look up Daniel Johnston and his artwork and the Hi, How Are You project based out of Austin, Texas. But just do what we do. We're being a support system, I believe, for people that are having mental health issues, addiction issues. So carry that message on wherever you're at.
Yeah, that's so cool, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I've always wondered what that hat was about, actually.
It is on its last legs.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't look bad. I feel like you could rock it for another couple
I
years.
think you might be able to pull it off.
Yeah, it's black, so you can't really tell too much.
Yeah, it's all faded and shit. So,
So,
how are you checking in? I stole your thing.
Dude, you stole it.
I love stealing your stuff.
Checking in. How am I checking? I think I'm checking. I'm in a really good place right now.
Dang, man. At least one of us are.
At least
Talk
one
to me
of
about
them.
it.
So we could just lean on me for the rest of the show. No, pretty good, man. Life is great. It's Saturday. I'm with my friend right here.
Checking in on me.
Checking in on you. I feel like we haven't really recorded in a while.
What are you talking about? We have episodes all the time. Oh, yeah. We also mentioned, to the viewers, like, we're doing episodes every other week now.
Yep.
Just because it fits.
Which is okay.
Yeah, it's okay. And we're still pretty relevant.
We're so relevant.
I think also the hope, too, is that by doing the episodes, we were putting together so many episodes, we're falling behind on, like, what's really happening currently. So we want to be more up to date on subjects we discuss.
Yeah, which this one will be a little better in that realm of things.
Because we're in September. Don't you forget it.
It's so September.
Yeah,
You're right.
How's that fantasy football team looking?
It's good, man. We're 4-0.
Nostradamus.
Making jokes because we're actually
not in September, but it is September.
But it is September. You'll listen to this in September.
But yeah,
how football season, bro. Oh my god!
Yeah, I know, man. Are you excited?
That's why I'm so happy. Yeah, I'm into
pumpkin spice,
dude. Lattes. Ooh, I'm not really down for that one, but
we talked about this before. But you're checking in good today. How's working with clients this week? It's
good.
Good. Productive.
Productive. I feel like I've had a lot of clients who are doing okay. Yeah, like a lot of them. I got a couple who are.
You ever get any hot heat because you look younger? Do clients ever think like
sometimes,
you too?
Sometimes. I mean, you could kind of read the room. I had a consultation the other day, and I can kind of read it, but they were a little uneasy. Like I was like they weren't really digging it, which happens sometimes. So I was like, so I was like, yeah. So I'm. It was like probably a couple. Probably I'm guessing in their 50s. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. So one of the things that people are get concerned about is like my age. Sometimes people want to know if I have kids, if I have family, like kind of where my life is at.
Yeah.
So how do you guys feel about that? And they were like, no, yeah, we feel okay. But
you think people weren't being truthful? They weren't.
But it's okay.
That's too confrontational right there. I think people are like, that's already uneasy for someone to bring that up anyway. So. Yeah.
So, but it's okay. I mean, but yeah, sometimes I get a little heat for my age.
Yeah.
But I feel like I look younger than I actually am. So it's not fair. But,
okay. Yeah. So unfair.
So unfair. Life is so unfair.
Yeah.
How about yourself, sir? How you checking in?
My dude, so much to talk about. You
give a life update right now or what?
Somewhat, yeah. So I just had my second kid.
That's right.
Boy. I've told you, and I've told multiple people I'm close with. I have a daughter, so having a son was like having another kid. I think is always scary a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I was really cool with the girl dad thing. I was like, this is my cause. I'm a girl dad. I liked it. People ask you like, do you want a boy or a girl? And a lot of times the response is what, like, I just want
boy, 100%. I'm just kidding.
Usually it's like, I just want him to be healthy. I don't really have a preference.
Yeah.
But I would say probably initially I was like, I got this girl thing down.
Yeah. I'm
good with girls. I think I'm good with women. So when I found out it was a boy, it was kind of there's shock with that because I'm like, oh my gosh, different gender altogether. But I'd also reference too is like, for me, it's been easy to love women. I grew up with more with women around me than I did men. I felt more comfortable with women than I would men. I feel like I know how to talk to women over men. So, and my reality was that like I didn't really know how to love a man. I can't even say like I love myself. That's probably I'm hardest on myself more than anybody. So sometimes it's hard to love me. And my gender is a male, so I was like, how do I love a man? Like how do I love a son? How does a father love a son? Because my father loved me. Mm-hmm. He just showed me, I think, in different ways where I questioned if he didn't love me. So I think there was a real fear. And there's probably, I don't want to say there's a fear present now that he's born. But I've got a lot to learn and a lot to, and I will continue. So I don't know if you're going to say anything about that or like.
Yeah, I will. So do you feel, so you are, as of the recording date, as opposed to release date, you're a couple weeks into being a new dad, right?
Yeah. We'll just say like, this is still, this is the very beginning.
Yeah. So for you, like, what's it? So now with this idea of like not knowing what it's like to love another male, what are you feeling that like father son love right now? Is that because with some people it's normal for that to like take some time to develop over time, and some people actually like have a hard time with that, the fact that like they don't feel that immediate connection with their baby. Some people do, and then some people don't, and the people who don't sometimes feel like there's something wrong with them, or like, you know, why am I not feeling this yet? But sometimes that takes some time to develop. What's your process like with that? Do you feel that immediate attachment, that immediate like love?
I do feel love. There's a bit of a disconnect, and I'll share like a little bit. Is that like I said, based on the circumstance right now, I'm with my daughter primarily, where my wife is with my son. So there's been like I haven't been around him as much.
Yeah.
And I'm if you have another kid, it's hard not to like. She's like my primary focus. Even throughout the pregnancy, I think my focus was on her so much, where I think there was a bit of a disconnect, because when you have that first kid, it's like it's the only thing you have to worry about. But then now you have two lives to take care of, and one's more present, the other one's in the belly. So it's like, and I'm not carrying the child, so I have that. I guess I'll use the word disconnect in some ways, or I have a lack of connection with that kid already. So I don't feel like I think he looks like me. So
that's good.
Yeah. The last one was black, so like that threw off the whole thing, right?
I don't understand. Yeah, but you're half, I think, right? You're Black Irish.
Yes, I'm Black Irish. Thank you. Yes, I am, everybody. I'm Black Irish, so I'm all races and genders. So we love you all here on Mr. Therapist.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So that was fucking great. So. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. So there's
good,
a little,
a good like you're not sure if that kid's your child joke is always great. It's always good. You do it at least once. Like I think I even said that. Like I think they were like, "Oh, he looks like you," and I was like, I wasn't sure if he was mine. Like, oh yeah, youth. There was probably times I wasn't sure.
That's such a man thing to do.
It is such a man thing to do, right. Yeah, like, do you have any kids? Not that I know of, right? Yeah, fuck yeah. Then you high five and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. And then you take your shirt off.
Come on, guys. Be better.
Yeah, that's right.
Take it serious.
Take it serious, man.
My Lord.
It's your kid.
It's your kid.
Unless
it's not.
Maybe not, though. So I'm sorry for that person.
Hey, make it work. If you guys need couples therapy, build a trust. Let us know.
Yeah. So I just, I think there's been a little bit like of that. It's not a disconnect, lack of connection. I'll say that. Yeah. And do you think
different connection, bro?
Our kids are gonna listen to this at some point in time.
Love you, girls. Love you.
But I just always, I wanted to
never
make sure,
had a doubt.
As I reference this, like I wanted to let him know that I love you, I love him, I love my daughter. That's so, awesome. I think just parenting though, it's just. I was telling you before we recorded too, right? I'm like, everybody's like, oh man, it's like, it's, you'll remember everything. Like it's easier the second time. And I'm sure it will be, but I was telling you, man, I fucking forgot everything. Yeah. I was like, what am I doing right now? Like I have this tiny thing, and I'm like, oh, it's so gentle. And like,
then you have your baby too.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It's a man joke. Penis joke.
You just talk about my penis in a disrespectful way? I just said our kids are watching, and then you fucking make a dick joke. God damn. You are on fire today, dude. You know what? I love it. It's good. We could have got this out before we recorded, right? Okay.
That's awesome.
All right.
Yeah, dude.
We're recording, right? I'll make sure this is all. Is everything good? Everything is good.
Yeah,
that's recording.
I hope so.
Because I cannot redo this.
Brandon. I don't know.
We're solo.
I kind of want to check now.
But
no, I want to say this though, dude.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I don't know. I feel really grateful and blessed that you have this opportunity. To be there for your children, and in a way, like especially with the dynamic of like your son and you get an opportunity to repair a cycle that you didn't have with your dad, right? And like and be there with him and learn what that process is like, and like just a repair and that could happen for you, the work that you can go through when you decide to get a therapist, and and for your son, you know, like being able to have you there as part of his life. Like I don't know. I think it's a really cool opportunity.
It's really it's exciting. I was talking to.
That's okay for me to say, right? Like, you cool with that? Yeah. I don't know.
You said a lot. You said something about my dick already, so like, yeah, we're good. We can keep going. I was talking to somebody about this. Is that about cycles and family dynamics, right? And how hard. Someone was telling me how they're like their father recently, and so it's like her brother's like their father, like in the sense of like how they communicate and you know it's these cycles. We all have these cycles. I was talking to a client before I went on my leave. I took a leave to spend time with my son from my job, but we're a copy of a copy of a copy. It's like we're basically a cover band because somebody already did what we're doing, or at least laid the groundwork for the music that we're playing. But we have an opportunity to like break and change the norm. We can, like, if it's culturally, if it's whatever, if it's gender, we have these opportunities to grow and to improve. And with my son now, I can really try to do something that is different. So that is like, and with that, I'm not really overwhelmed at all. Like, there are other things I maybe will be worried about one day, but I do see this as like a really great opportunity, experience. I'm very grateful for this. So it's just there's a reason I had a boy and not a girl. Just like I think it was important for me to have a girl, because these are both, I think these are so important life lessons on how my relationships are with women, also my relationships with men. Like I'm gonna get to learn like how to be like, I want to show you the healthiest way with both of them, right? And hopefully I can show that. Or you will. Communicate that with them. You will. Thanks. Yeah. A
lot of hope for you, brother.
Thanks, man.
Hell yeah.
Don't give up on me now.
I won't.
We've come this far.
I won't. That's awesome, man. Cool.
I did want to reference that that September is Suicide Awareness Month.
Yeah. That's right.
I want to read this here just to make sure I don't fuck this up, because I tend to mess things up, but that's how the life and world is, right? So
no, you don't.
Making mistakes.
You make things better, dog.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, September, man, it's crazy, right? I mean, you're gonna hear this like 100 times.
It's September. In September. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Is that how it goes?
You're doing a good job. So. Just want to say, once again, Suicide Awareness Month.
Get it in there.
It is. Remember those who have died by suicide. Raise awareness about suicide prevention. Share the message of hope, which we kind of just scratched the surface on a little bit here.
Which is why you got to check in on your friends.
Check in on your friends, so important. We don't just use it as a catchphrase. That's like it's legit. It's important because you don't know what's going on with people. So if people present a certain way, I was thinking about this mentality of the word like, it's okay that we can be fine sometimes. There are times that I don't want to like drop everything and put everything out there, but at some point in time, like I hope that we're promoting like you do need to share and talk about things and check in on people. But
you just need that one person that you can open up to, and really that's all it takes. Like it's just that one person you can feel safe with.
World Suicide Prevention Day is on September 10th. And National Suicide Prevention Week is the 10th, September 10th, through the 10th and the 16th of September. Yeah. And once again, if you know someone who's struggling, you can call or text. Is it 988? Does that sound right? Yeah. 988 lifeline.org to reach the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. So is there anything else that you want?
24-hour line, right?
Yeah.
No, just a couple. I guess we can also, in that statement, just take a moment to really think about and I'm religious, I'm spiritual, so pray for the families who've lost a family member or a loved one, because that's hard. The person suffering through it, and then if they do complete the attempt on their life, then they leave a lot of pain around too, right? And so there's a lot of people around them who are experiencing the pain of that suffering as well. So if you lost someone out there through suicide, you just want to just take a moment to acknowledge that we see you, and we hope that you're getting help yourself if you need it, and hope you can talk about it, because I think some families can really feel a lot of shame around that. I think especially in the Latino cultures in my family, there's been a few instances where, like, I've talked before about how I lost an uncle to suicide.
Yeah.
But then also like there's this experience in the family of like hiding when someone is suicidal because you don't want to be looked down upon by other family members or by the community as you don't got your shit together, or they got a child that's crazy, and so it hiding the suicidal ideation, the suicidal feeling, it creates more an isolation, more of a loneliness, which is one of the biggest factors for suicide.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to create a culture, an energy of like acceptance and like, hey, like it's okay, like let's talk about it, let's figure it out.
It's hearing you share that. I was just thinking like, would there be a lot of embarrassment still to have like somebody in your family that committed suicide, and like, you think there's a lot of shame and embarrassment to like? I
think some families still carry that for sure, especially if there's not a lot of mental health awareness.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's when you say that, it's I was kind of taken back because I was like, to me, like I would feel almost, if somebody were to open that up to me and their life and share like, hey, yeah, I lost my son or my daughter to this, like I would be like, it's almost like a welcome mat for me. But I also, for conversation, but like, but I also realized that working in the field, like my perspective, my perception is completely different than somebody who's like maybe culturally who isn't like connected,
just separated from the mental health talk, the mental health culture,
Yeah.
And so, but it's good for you to say that, right? If someone were to come to me, like I would totally like engage, embrace.
It humanizes people, like, it does. It brings it down to like, because we deal, even though we work in the field with mental health and addiction clients, like that we're promoting being vulnerable and open, there's still a lot of this like surface talk that we, all the how's your weekend conversations. Right. As I mentioned, it's okay to be fine sometimes, but and we deal with that, so much of that, like it's just like, it's nice to even just hear somebody say, oh yeah, I'm today this happened, or so many years ago, so like so just it invites, I think, more conversation.
Totally.
Be allowed to be, I guess, leaning on the whole vulnerability thing.
Absolutely.
Again, so.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But we'll say it at the end. Check in on your friends and
check in on your family members.
Yeah.
Check in with a therapist. Make sure you do
or
that
a counselor.
Or a counselor. And a counselor.
Or a podcast.
With a therapist and a counselor in it.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Yeah. So we got a little bit of time here.
Yeah, let's talk. What are we talking about? What you got?
I wanted to talk about, just because, did you watch the Olympics?
I didn't.
You didn't watch it.
You know what? I just watched it. I did watch it a month ago.
You watched it a month ago. Get with it, bro.
A month ago. I dropped off my daughters a month ago with my in-laws.
Terrible, bro. Let's pretend it's what's happening.
A month ago.
It's happening.
And but the Olympics is over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's happening. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know what I meant, actually.
So a month ago, I saw it on my in-laws' TV as I came to record a month ago.
Are you a fan of the Olympics? You're just not into America?
Not really. I'm not into America.
You said it. There you go. He's not really into America.
I'm not. No.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan. I guess. No, I'm not a fan at all. No, not a fan. I was like, maybe the soccer.
You like World Cup, though, right?
I like the World Cup, yeah.
Why do you like World Cup over soccer?
What? It's the same thing.
No,
why do I like World Cup over the Olympics?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I meant to say. Why do you like World Cup over soccer?
I think because I know the players in the World Cup and the Olympics are like up and comers. Yeah, okay. And then it's not like midnight, dude. Don't they play like at like 1 a.m?
There's stuff in the daytime.
Yeah.
So you're just not into it.
No, but I did hear about some controversies going on in the Olympics. Do you like the Olympics?
I'm not done bringing what up. Like, let me say with the Olympics, though, don't you think it brings people closer together, though? When people are like rooting for their countries, like there's some
for sure.
Yeah. Especially in a world like where there's so much divide, I feel like the Olympics is probably the one of the few things that people will be like, hey, let's root together and like let's support like our country. Yeah. So it's I think it's always nice. I'm not an avid, like I didn't watch a lot of the Olympics whenever they were airing back in August. I tried to keep an eye on like the basketball. I was interested. LeBron was was on the team. Go Team USA. But I also realized like how people just really rally around the patriotism. Yeah. And with like we're gonna do like an election.
Are you a patriot? You're like very patriotic.
I mean,
That's great.
Our country. I'm happy I live where I live.
There you go.
Okay. But a lot of things, everybody needs a little help in this country at times, right?
Very true.
Yeah, so
just like us and our fans and our fans, our listeners. We all should go see a therapist.
Remember,
right?
you didn't use like the word of the followers, though, right? You thought it was like too like.
Did I say followers right now?
No, you said fans and
fans,
then followers,
yeah,
but you said you didn't like followers
I
because it
know.
was too like cultish, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Follow us.
Well, I don't know. Followers is like, Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're a podcast. Yeah.
So the Olympics aired, so there was some controversy.
Well, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, of course you can. It's half your podcast.
So did you see, I saw this reel the other day.
Oh, shit. This is where he gets all his news. Here we go.
This is where I get all my news.
We hear this reel.
I saw this reel the other day about when Kobe was in the Olympics.
Oh,
did you see this? Yeah. Where he's like, I'm gonna run through Paul, and they're like, no, you're not. That's your teammate. He's like, no, I'm setting the tone for the game. I'm running through him, and then boom, he hits him in the chest, dude. That was so crazy. That was badass.
Speaks, like,
that was badass.
Volumes to like that man's mentality, the Mamba mentality, though, right? Of just like. You know what? It's funny that you brought this up. We're gonna go off like topic here, but like come back to it. But
that's what we do.
I was thinking about like how they'll come out with lists like the top like
10.
Yeah, top 10. There was one for top 10 like MMA fighters. I read top 10 like
podcast
rapper.
We were up there.
Yeah, but I was just like thinking about how like we like who really is the best and like who makes those judgments.
Oh, you're about to make a call right now.
What?
You're about to rank the basketball players?
No, I won't do it. It's always like it's people's like their own preference.
So you're about to rank Kobe over Michael Jordan.
No, I'm not gonna do that. But I'm just like, it's just like, can't we just enjoy like what? I don't know why we have to rank people and be like, well, like, this person's the best.
Yeah.
I get it. It creates like fun conversation, like.
But you're right. It creates fun conversations, fun debate. It's entertaining.
But some people take it so seriously.
Some people take it serious, and I think like it's like I think it's the absence of real conversations, like authentic, like real, like shit, like you said earlier, like the how are you doing, but like you don't really answer that question.
Right.
That creates for this like energy, which happens a lot with guys, I would say too. Where you're just like talking sports and like taking sports so serious and taking it to that next
your
level.
Your energy will be so much into that, like
you're having a full debate on like fucking Kobe or LeBron, like whatever. It's like whatever, dude.
I just Anyways, but just because you brought that up, and I was driving here and I thought about like, am I one of the best group counselors of all time? It's like, this is ridiculous. There's always somebody better out there than you, and like just the idea of like, if somebody put together a top 10 of whatever therapists or podcasts, it's just like, it's people's opinions, but like, there's people out there probably that like, I think Kobe's the greatest basketball player of all time. It's just fine. No. Then you think that because you have this connection with him. So
good.
But back to the Olympics, we were talking about was there was some controversy. I'm gonna screw up the boxer's name. She's a female boxer.
Oh yeah.
She actually won the gold.
Controversy.
Yeah,
Damn.
this one right here. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. There was a lot of controversies though.
A lot of controversies about that one.
Check in about the other one later.
Yeah. Her name. I'm gonna screw this up. Her name is Imane Khelif. Can you look this up?
That was it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Her name is Algeria's Imane Khelif.
Yeah. So she won the gold, right? So she was fighting an Italian boxer, and she ended up like punching her with a shot that was like so hard, and there was suggestion that maybe that she was transgender, which I guess I read more and more into this. This country doesn't even allow like same-sex marriages. They don't permit people to be transgender in that country. So
Algeria.
Yeah. So there was a big movement on like some people online that jumped on the story because there's a lot of controversy with like. There's a lot of controversy
around transgender individuals in sports.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, some people that have podcasts like Pat McAfee, Logan Paul, they both had like brought it up and they promoted like their beliefs and their feelings on that. Huh?
Oscar De La Hoya did too.
Did he as well? Yeah. So
talked about him before. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he's a boxer, so yeah, I'm sure he probably has opinions. So, but it was found out that So I'll read it like surname. We mentioned her name, but she beat Angela Carin from Carinina, something like that, from Italy. But yeah, so everybody suggested because there was some kind of leak that she would some kind of like at birth there was like a chromosome that there was a male chromosome. I don't know.
I heard she didn't pass like a
something
gender test or something like that. Right?
Yeah, but the Olympic Committee came out and said there's no truth to any of this all. But like people made a bunch of comments, and then even when they were misinformed, they didn't go back. I even read like Logan Paul. I'll read exactly what he said. He said, "Oopsies, I might be guilty of spreading misinformation along the entirety of this app." He's talking about like his podcast and things like that. So there's not a lot of responsibility, I think, sometimes with media. And the reason I brought it up, I wasn't so much that I wanted to bring up, but I just thought about like mental health wise, like how challenging that is for somebody to be questioned on like how feminine somebody is or how male somebody is. I don't know if I have time to talk about the Dana White comments. We might do that in the next episode, but like I just think about how our words are so harmful, and how like when you put something out there, it's hard to take back words. I mean, we grew up on what, like sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt me. Yeah, fucking that's complete opposite. Like I think words can't break our bones, but words do a lot more long-term damage than maybe a broken arm or a broken foot. So it's just like, I think it's important, at least with our platform as well, right, is to be authentic and to be vulnerable and just to take, I think, responsibility on like how we're talking to people. Would you any takes on what?
Totally. Like I think like so I'm a big believer in being able to build people up, right? Being able to like use encouraging language, and I'm kind of turned off by like a lot of the rhetoric right now as we're getting closer to like the election, right? Like it's like it's this sort of character assassination around politics, and in our country, like the transgender movement is a big movement that is being criticized, and that is it gives everyone a certain type of a feeling, right? They feel a certain type of way about it, and so it has this energy that becomes political. So that the Olympics become more than the Olympics, and so, but yeah, I agree. I think in the name of spreading, positive mental health messaging, I think like one thing we just gotta check ourselves is like when we say something, we gotta make sure that we're speaking accurately, and this poor individual probably got super attacked, right? And so you feel for them and their mental health. It's a tough topic. There's some people that really strongly believe in this idea that like transgendered individuals being able to fight with women, being able to fight with male. How does that? Your belief is your belief. Your opinion is your opinion. Like, but it sucks when that energy is being fueled and applied to this individual who wasn't transgendered.
Yeah, it's just like it's like, hey, she's very strong, and there's suggestion like, maybe that she has like, once again like the testing, and I'm just like, even the Italian boxer who lost, who I just mentioned, she's like, I want to apologize to her and for like me making the suggestion if she brought more light to it, which led to more controversy, but it's just so important to like be aware of like how we're talking to people and being respectful to people. And not only that, kind of to your point, we're gonna make mistakes, right? Yeah. So it's like, why can't we practice humility and be like, you know what, I fucked up. I gotta own this. Like, we have this kind of mentality of like, if we step in something, we're just gonna pretend like we didn't. Yeah. So I think that it's just it's I wanted to bring it up, not so much on the political content, but just the overall. The concept of just learning to own up to our mistakes, because I said this before and I'll say it again, like I screw up daily, I make mistakes. Like sometimes I don't know. We've had guests on here, like we've African American, like I even mentioned to her like would it be okay if I called somebody, if I called them black over African American. We've had people come in, we've talked about like transgender communities and the LGBTQTI whatever last few lists, like even that right there, right? Like I could be like, I just don't know it. Sometimes I forget because there's all kinds of extra letters getting added, but like these are learning experiences. Do we get an opportunity as a counselor and therapist to like be our best selves and try to be open to different people's backgrounds. Yeah, like
totally, yeah. You have to.
We have our own opinions on things as well. We have our own political beliefs, our own like spiritual, religious beliefs.
Yeah.
So it's just like, but we're practicing being. I'm not trying to fucking put us on like a pedestal here, but we're trying to be better human beings, right?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
And sure, like our
we're
schooling
gonna mess up.
and our profession helps our awareness with that. But we got kids. We just talked about like I want to show them a better way.
Yeah.
Like so.
Can we talk about this? It's kind of related to this.
Yeah,
right?
so we talked about the Olympics, how much you don't like the Olympics, and how patriotic I am. But yeah, we can go into like more Olympic banter.
Yeah. So the part that I kind of did sort of react to when it comes to controversy for the Olympics was the opening ceremony. Did you hear about the opening ceremony?
We talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that metal band that played Gojira?
No.
Okay, I heard that was pretty
Was
sick.
it good?
I don't know. I heard it was fucking epic.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're not.
Do you know
about,
them? You follow them?
I follow them in my heart right now. But let's play that. No,
right.
But like you wanted to talk about this introduction. It was the last. Go ahead, you talk about it.
So
I don't know too much about it.
So I'm trying to read it here so I can be like super objective.
Okay.
So it says during the prestigious event held on July 26th, a scene was featured showing drag queens, a transgendered model, a naked singer dressed up as a Greek god of wine, Dionysus, and a child together along a dining table, and they were sort of replicating this idea of like the Last Supper, which is obviously a spiritual or a Catholic or a Christian artwork from Da Vinci.
Yeah.
And so I did get offended about that,
Okay.
just because I felt like I'm a believer in God and a believer in Christ, and I just felt like it was sort of like making fun of something that like I truly care about and believe in. And on top of that, I don't know if you saw, but there was like a dude who like his sack was hanging out.
His balls?
Yeah, in that.
You can actually see his balls?
Yeah.
Can you pull that up?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to pull it.
I'll show you later. I'm not going to pull up on TV. But I thought it was disrespectful. And like you said earlier, right? Isn't this like an event that is supposed to be family oriented, sort of bring people together?
Yeah.
You have your kids watching this. You know what I mean?
Is that what I think there's a bigger question I almost want to ask you, like being offended. Is it more that it was more offensive on the sense of like my family would be watching this, or more based on your spiritual religious beliefs?
I think both. I think if like, if I wasn't watching the Olympics, but like if we had been an Olympic family, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who do, right? Yeah. I mean, Mia is about to enroll in gymnastics, and my daughter, and like if she was like really into the Olympics because of this gymnastics, sport, and she wanted to watch it, and like we saw that would be a little bit kind of strange, and uncomfortable. But that, and then another part of it too is just like, I kind of feel like an attack on like, man, something that I really believe in.
Do you get offended easily?
Sometimes I do. Yeah. I think sometimes I do. I feel like I can get very sensitive.
Yeah,
sometimes,
I am too.
So,
So I guess I think sometimes when it comes to like social media or like things that I guess maybe, I don't know. I get more offended when somebody makes comments about me personally.
Yeah.
But like my offensive meter, like I think I probably have grown up with like. Yeah, let me ask you this: if South Park had done like an episode like this, would you have been like that bothered them, like mocking the Last Supper, or was it because it was on a like more of a national basis? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because like you don't sign up to see that in the Olympics, right? And so where South Park, you're kind of signing up to watch something that's going to be made fun of, right? And but I think it was unexpected. It was a little offensive. I wasn't like, I can't believe this is going on, but it was like, it was maybe less than offensive. It was distasteful.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that's a big controversy going on right now too. And so I don't know. It's man, everything is so controversial. I don't know if it's because it's like political season, or if like we're just as a society we're
on edge, man.
Every year it gets worse and worse. I don't
want to feel that. I mean, there could be some cause with that. I think that's why like as we are like airing this in September, not our next episode, but the episodes that are going to air in October, we're going to have like a conversation about politics because it's important to prompt people or prepare people for what comes next. But I think there's a high intensity here.
You feel it, right? Like, do you feel it? Like, do you feel like?
Yeah, I mean,
in the air.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, of course. I how can you not? I think you see the upgrade. I was gonna more kind of wait for our political conversation, but like if it's posts on like your social media, you see people have a certain like they have a lot of energy towards that, and it's really it's a fight, and when two people are in a fight, I mean, I guess there's probably two sides to that, and people are pitted against each other. And it's not just the candidates; it's the people that support the candidates. Yeah. So, but I mean, I think that
let's stop it there.
Let's stop right there.
Yeah, so we can have good content.
We can say, but so don't forget. Well, I'll listen to the podcast.
If you guys are experiencing though a lot of this like energy, a lot of this like, just what did you call it? Just like this like opinionated, no room for dialogue, sort of like distressing relationships. It's probably what's happening. So because I can feel it. So this also promotes the idea of sharing and talking and discussing that and letting you feel however you feel. If you were offended by like the Last Supper like thing that they did the Olympics, if it was bothered that like you saw a woman who you thought was a man fighting a woman and things were brought up, I think some people might have been triggered because I saw some of the arguments online about the boxer was like, this is the worst thing could happen, a man beating up a woman. And I think people, I don't know why they have, I mean, that is not a good thing. A man should not harm a woman. I understand that. But like, there's probably could be things tied into people's past and their lives or what they've experienced. So it's like, and this is why it's important to take a deep dive into like what we do here and take a deep breath as well. So we're all human, like.
And I think it goes to like what we were talking about, dude, here's the thing. Like, I feel like you cannot complete this journey of life if you don't go to therapy or counseling. Yeah. I don't think you could be the full committed idea to what a man could be or what a woman could be. I can't speak for women, but I'll speak for men. Like, I feel like you're not going to be at your best unless you go to therapy or counseling.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, either way.
Finishing the story.
Yeah. You're just, you're significantly like falling short on what you can experience in life, on how you can bring up your family, on who you can become. I think if you're not consistently working on yourself in that way, we got to get better.
We got to get better. We can get better. Allow yourself to get better. Challenge yourself to get better, because I think that sometimes we feel like that we're not going to get better. I have had this thing recently with self-awareness, like where I feel like so a lot of ways I'm so self-aware that I'm like almost it's like a bad thing. Yeah. I don't know if you ever feel that way. But at the same time, on the other side of that,
what's bad about it? Like,
I think sometimes I
like,
realize like I could be so anxious, or like I'm kind of really in touch with my emotions where like when I have these emotions, sometimes I'm just like, oh no, I don't want this to come up for me. I don't want to feel this right now. You know, it's like knowing things that now that it's like you can't look away. You saw something, right? So it's like, but on the flip side of that, like I think it's important to be self-aware. And I think that's where growth really begins, is when you're finally self-aware. Yeah. So
being emotional is a beautiful thing, and it's a part of you. And there's a lot of benefits to this. I talked about this before, but my current therapist that I see, haven't seen him in a while. I gotta go make an appointment.
Yeah. The fantasy football, man, you're too tied up, bro.
No, but he really brought this idea to me that like I've been buying into. Because I me, like I always like, I'll be hard on myself. Yeah. I'll be like, oh, I'm too this, I'm too that. And this idea of like, you know what? Every trait that we have as individuals, there has a positive and then it has a side effect. And so like, it's a good way to look at, building some self-compassion and acceptance around like some of the things maybe you don't like about yourself. Yeah. And so in that same way, I feel like, people who are emotional, I'll include myself in that. There is a side effect to emotions. They're draining. Yeah. They throw you off. You're not like put together, but then like it's such a beautiful experience to feel.
Yes.
And it's probably what leads you to be compassionate for people, understanding. And we need that, especially right now more than ever.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So
I think that's well said. I think we're gonna probably wrap it up right there.
can we answer a question real quick? Listener question.
You answer a
Is
question.
that
Can we
okay?
do it next episode?
Yeah. We got like okay. We could do it next episode.
We'll hit on next episode. So we got questions.
All right.
But,
How long did we go?
Huh?
How long did we go?
We're like on the 40-minute mark.
Damn.
That's what I'm telling you,
All
dog.
right.
We got
good.
so much content.
We got questions that we are answering every single episode until we answer them all. But we want to encourage you guys to keep submitting questions at the email manny@mrtherapistmft.com. Or send them to us in comments as well on YouTube, on Spotify.
The next episode, I don't want to promise this, but like we'll jump right into it. We'll do 2 questions.
Yeah.
We'll get them
Don't
done.
make promises you can't keep.
I didn't make a promise.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. I said I'm not going to make
That's
a promise.
Such good
Yeah.
strategy. That's like almost gaslighting.
Ooh, let's talk about gaslighting.
We can make
we can make another episode about gaslighting.
But yes, please thank you guys for checking in with us. What do I usually say at the end? Please subscribe to the channel.
Go. He's rusty.
And share the show if you found some value. Submit your questions. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Help us spread the mental health message and get your butt to therapy.
Check in on your friends.
Got my name, tag it home today. I'm Jack. Greet you like I give a fuck. Are you surprised by that?